Hey, everybody, how are you? Just getting started here. Getting ready, just pushing it over to Facebook Live. And let's see, we're preparing there. We're recording here. Hey, Jonathan, good to have you here. Facebook seems to be taking a little time. Everybody's doing so many videos now. Let's close some of these up.
How you been so far, Sean?
I've been doing good, sir. How about you?
Great. Just trying to focus, trying to write, write.
There you go.
Sir.
Let's see here. We may stop the live stream, reset it, push it to Facebook. On my timeline, yes. Preparing live stream. Hey, Monique.
Hey.
Hey. I can't get it to, I'm sure with all of the people that are using Zoom right now, evening session doesn't seem to want to go over to so we may just go live like this. Go live here and live there. Give it another second. How was your day, Monique?
It was great. I did more cooking. went on a walk to go get some groceries instead of taking the car. Yeah, it was actually pretty nice. I was like, this is like living in Europe.
Exactly. Well, that's not going to want to go there, so I'm going to push it to YouTube.
How was your day?
My day was good, busy. I just finished eating, and my phone went dead out sitting out on the back porch, and I'm like, I need to probably go check inside. And then I walk in, I go, oh my God, it's like 2 minutes to whatever. Evening. Okay, so we're going live there. Gonna push this live here. Hey, Facebook, how are you? Hope everybody's doing well. I couldn't get the Zoom to go live, so I'm over here on the Zoom live, up here on this screen. I'm pushing it to YouTube. That's okay there. So now let's see here. Hold on. I wonder, is there a way to check the privacy on where this thing is at? Live, popular. I wonder if you can see this on, because somewhere I did something the other day and hit a private, only me on a video as a test for somebody. And it hasn't gone back to just public, everything I post public.
Is it maybe a setting?
Yeah, well, normally what was happening is I'd have to go and push it live. So I'm trying to see if I can, going on this other page, going on my Facebook page.
So when you go live to YouTube, you're on the call on your phone, on your YouTube. How are you doing that? I need to learn from you.
Yeah, see, it's locked. So now I got to make it public. That's why. I got to go back and change that setting. Only me, public. There we go. So yeah, what I do is when I have, because in the Zoom I have, I've got the webinar included. Mm-hmm. So webinar allows you to push it live to Facebook or to YouTube. So when we do our morning calls, there's a little thing where you click more and it just tells you whether you want it to go to Facebook or whether you want it to go to YouTube. So,
that's cool. Okay.
So there you go. Hey, everybody. Well, I keep pulling the wrong thing. Hey, everybody. Good evening. Good evening on Facebook. Good to have you all here. Good to have you here on the Zoom. I hope everybody's doing great. If you get a chance, go to my Instagram page. You'll see an amazing soul I did a quick interview with, Monique. Monique, I want to do an interview with you too, with Tiffany Malott. And that was pretty cool. So how y'all doing today? Hey, Daniela, how are you? And Facebook, I'm talking to my Zoom folks as well. So that's why you're hearing me do a couple of things live. So what's happening with y'all? Any ahas, awarenesses, awakenings? I got to do this because can't see up close. Here's a couple of things Tiffany said. If you go look, she's in my stories, or in my stories on Instagram. She talked about her success, her 20 years of success, and she talked about what she did during that course of the time, and how she got to 2 million a year, and how she had to compete, right, in the man's world, and having conversations and doing things. So it's a pretty cool story. We went about 20 minutes. I had another call that was going on at the same time. It was crazy today, all of the calls going on. So here's a question for you. What have you learned today? I sat with Mason and Michelle earlier tonight when we were having dinner, and I said, what's changed? And for Mason, he said, I don't know. He says, I don't know that anything's changed yet. I said, how could you say that? How could nothing change? And he said, well, I'm still with my friends because they've been living an online life for a while. So imagine 20 years from now, 10 years from now, when something like this happens again. Will most of them have an online job? Will most of them already be working from home? That's the question. Because that will change. That is going to change. That has changed forever. I'd be curious. What do you think schools are going to do? What do you think universities are going to do? I mean, they got all of that. They got all of that brick and mortar. But I think this is a learning curve for implementation, right? Necessity is the mother of invention. There's things that are going to come out of this that people have never, ever dreamed of. What are you going to come out of this with? That's the bigger question. What awareness, what awakening? I don't know I haven't been out in over a week. I don't know. And we've got lockdown here in Collin County, please stay at home notices. I'm not sure if the stores have restocked. I'm not sure if they're still out of everything. Monique, you said you went for a little walk today.
Yep. I went for a walk today. Now, that's nothing new for me. So I kind of agree with Mason for me personally, because I don't know if it's a good thing that I don't really feel much change other than the kids being home a little bit earlier than I expected them to be, because us stay-at-home moms are like, okay, summertime, we're bracing ourselves for summertime, and the kids are here full time. Yeah. So that's the only thing that's really changed, but I don't know. I think it's a good thing for me personally that I don't really feel much discomfort in this moment. If anything, I feel really happy with how things are, because I feel like, like I said, sitting outside and watching, people that I've never seen before walk by, and dads riding bikes with their kids, walking to the store because there's not all this crazy traffic to have to worry about, about it being unsafe. That part has been really nice for me. And everything else has been the same. We always sit down and have dinner as a family. I always have time to cook because I'm lucky enough to, to work a job that allows me to stay home, and my husband goes to work. Aside from not having to do school pickup, nothing much has changed for me. And I really like it. It's been really peaceful. That's a neat thing. It's been peaceful compared to some other people. I think if what we look for is what we're looking for, guess what we'll find? So this challenge that's happening right now is a reality that people need to become aware of, that it will not go back. There's some people hoping, can we just get back to the way it was? And the answer to that is 100% no.
Absolutely not. It'll never be the same. Oh, RBP in the house. Oh, but she doesn't have a robe on. And hey, Beth Holzheimer, how are you, my love? Hey, listen, if everything's going a little bit better, if you need to give me a call or a shout or anything, just give me a shout. So the question then becomes, how do we, well, there's a perfect example of change, right? That we're going to have an event to award a woman truck driver. Beth, could you drop, if you're still on the Facebook Live, could you drop the name of your company or the name of where women truck drivers might go to learn more about the services that you provide and truckers in general? I know it's kind of an oddball thing, but you never know. I've got some amazing folks. Ooh, there's Rick in the back. What's he doing? What's he doing?
Rick has cooked us fish and hush puppies and French fries, and we fixing to chow down.
Okay, cool.
Mr. Pink Robe, Mr. Pink Robe in the background.
Pink Robe.
See, I just told him that. Hey,
I don't know where that came from.
It's like I couldn't remember your name, and so she always wears a pink robe, so you're Mr. Pink Robe.
So that's Monique. That's sexy Monique. She's the reason I made an apple pie the other day.
Good deal.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So things are changed, right? Families who are always close are staying close. Families who were not close are getting close. You know, and again, I've said this a dozen times already. Sadhguru said, he said, everybody wants to be at home. Everybody wishes they were at home. Now they're at home and everybody's freaking out. And I saw a post, I'm trying to think of who said it. Maybe it was Leslie Hebert, but she posted somebody put a post up by Rumi. And it said, why are you afraid of the other side? How do you know it's not better than this? How do you know what's coming is not better is not better than this? The other side, there's always a change. There's always a change. So how are you dealing with it? Are you journaling? Because this is going to be some amazing notes, right? What did you do well? What could you have done better? What things do you need to prepare for? Maybe you're just getting into the thick of it, right? I heard some content today that there's parts of our country that are not affected at all, right? Flyover territory, those places. So our business is going to be moving out of the metropolitan area, but wherever they move, they're going to create a metropolitan area. Just think of the things, right? So here's a couple of predictions I make. You think paper towel usage is going to go skyrocket, or the hand blowers in restrooms are going to go skyrocket in sales? Because when everybody goes back to work, how many times a day do you think they're going to be washing their hands? Who provides them soap? What kind of soap are they going to use? The antiseptic, right? The hand sanitizer, that's going to go crazy. People are going to be carrying that in their hands. They're going to be spraying that on every kid's stuff. What's going to happen with the body? Are we going to need, is there going to be a deficiency that takes place because of how much this has absorbed into our body? Is somebody going to come out with nutritional based absorption hand sanitizer? Isn't that crazy? I mean, if you just start thinking about it and you go, well, what's everybody going to use? What's going to happen to the aloe fields, right? Because everybody's going to be putting aloe in everything because they're going to be drying their hands out like crazy. So I just wanted to check in on everybody. And that's what these 7 o'clock calls are. If you need something, if you need a prayer, know you're on our prayer list. Know that we got some champions here on this call right now that like, you know, they got a hotline right up to the big guy, the big gal, the big ask and you shall receive. I would just ask you to take some time, because now we're starting to get a little bit used to it. Now we're starting to get a little bit, the routine is a new routine, and that new routine is one we're having to deal with. What happens when you fall in love with the new routine? Then what's going to happen when everybody's got to go back? Oh, I got to go back to work. There's going to be a variety of massive adjustments right? Technology. Guess what Verizon's going to wind up doing? They're going to, you know, I can't imagine what they've turned on from a bandwidth that they are giving away, because there ain't no way they would ever. Could you imagine them going, oh, well, yeah, sorry about the virus, but we're not going to turn on the bandwidth unless you up your stuff. And we need to charge you an extra $10. Could you imagine the massive revolt that would happen? So now all of a sudden, when things start to go back to, quote, normal, which it ain't going to happen. So now what's Verizon going to do? You're going to see expansions in technology. How brilliant does Elon Musk look right now with the satellites he's putting in space? Just some things to think about. How are you going to compound this in the way that makes you glad you went through it? Right? Every lesson, every learning, every near failure is a lesson, unless you quit. Well, I ain't seen nobody quitting. And this will come back. They're saying this will come back sometime in the fall, because I guess, I don't know, head nods if it's true, but once you get it and it's done, it's like the measles. You can't get it again. Is that what I've heard? So guess how long this is going to be around? Till 7 billion people get it. And then what happens to all the new babies and all the new, so it'll be around. So this level of awareness, this level of, I don't want to say sensitivity, hyper awareness is going to be pretty important. There's going to be new rules in offices that if you have a sniffle, you can't come in. I know they do that in school, right? You got to stay home for 24 hours. They're not going to let little Sally Superwoman in the next cubicle come in going, that ain't going to happen no more. Sally, why don't you go home? No, I got to get this report done. So say some prayers tonight for folks. I got some calls from some people who are very dear to me who said, you know what? I'm feeling so much better right now. So maybe they had it. Maybe they used some of the essential oils that they used that I suggested to them that they used, and it broke it. Their fever broke right away. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know about that. All I know is when they told me they're feeling healthier, they're feeling healthier. I know when they say they use a little bit of peppermint, get some peppermint if you ain't got none, and just breathe it in. It's respiratory. Open up your lungs. Increase your oxygenation by some ridiculous number, 10% or so. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I just know when I breathe peppermint, right? Woo. And if you're not sure where to get some, yeah, give me a shout. But you got Whole Foods stores near you. You can go out and get it. I just like mine delivered to my door. So just be aware of the joy you bring to the world. Don't forget that. Women, ladies, please take some time for you. There's a tremendous amount of stress that you have in a regular day life, just taking care of your family and then making sure they're safe when there's so many things outside of your control. Have some fun. Don't forget to reward yourself. Blow a bubble, do something, have some fun. There you go. All right, y'all. Go have an amazing evening. Enjoy your day. If you want to join us on the morning call, this morning's call went, 2.5 hours or something like that? 2 hours plus? Some big breakthroughs happening on there. But you got to get up early. And since you don't have to drive into work, you can do that.
Yeah, I was going to say, Sean, it's funny. The evening call is great, but it's such a different vibe from the morning. And I don't know if it's because everybody's like waking up, and it's like the first thing that's kind of resonating on your mind that you want to talk about, or maybe the last thing that you wrote in your journal. But the morning call is so special. Like, if anybody, I know there's not a lot of people on this call particularly, but they need to know like that, even though you've set this later call, the morning call just can't be beat. No, it's magic.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing when you got 70 people on there for an hour and a half before they start jumping off. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Awesome. So. Heather Love in the house. Hey, Heather, how are you, my love? You're muted if you're talking, just FYI. But you may be doing something. But I spoke to her earlier. She's doing good. I love her. She's amazing.
Hey y'all. I wasn't muted. I was trying to type, but
okay.
I am feeling better. I'm glad I was able to get on tonight. I've been out of it a little bit.
Well, you're always in it, but now we get to see you back in it, so that's cool. Jonathan asked me, what books am I reading? So I go back to the ones that have survived 2,000 years. There's this one, Marcus Aurelius. Oh, here, Facebook. Marcus Aurelius. And where's the manual? The manual by Epictetus. It's here somewhere. Mason may have come got it. That'd be awesome if he did. And then, of course, I have a dear friend who sends me scripture all the time in my daily devotional.
Excuse me, Sean, what was the second one you said?
It's called The Manual by Epictetus.
Interesting.
Well, why aren't you reading business manuals? Because there's 26 letters in the alphabet, and they used them 2,000 years before we ever used them. Everything anybody wrote today is borrowed. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Borrowed from the Bible.
Yep.
Every last word.
Yep. Every lesson. There's a buddy of mine, and I forget his name, an African-American gentleman. Great energy. But he does a whole training on why you should be wealthy just from Bible teachings. Pretty amazing.
Is it like a call?
What's that?
You said it was like a call, like the ones that you do?
Oh, well, the ones I do are the morning ones, but that one about the Bible train, no, this is another buddy of mine that does that, and I don't know. He does that. He charges like $4,000 for the seminar. Wow. Yeah. So I'm helping out a buddy of mine who's getting involved in something, and I'm right now working with them to be kind of a support part of their support team right now to help them. And I'm just looking and started to put value on some of my stuff. And I said, well, you guys could have this. And they go, that? You would give that to all of the people here? I said, well, yeah, why not? Yes, please, Rhonda. Absolutely. Can I, well, they said, well, that's like $4,000 worth of stuff. I'm like, well, don't they need it right now? It's only worth $4,000 if they do something with it. It ain't doing me anything sitting here right now either. So Rhonda, you got a Bible study that goes on when? Tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock in the morning Central Time. I have a Bible study Facebook page now. And if I don't have all the equipment Sean does, if I can do a Zoom and a Facebook Live at the same time, I will. I don't know if that will happen. But if you want to be in the Facebook group, you can send me a message and
you're looking for Rhonda Bird Parker.
Yeah, I'll add you to it. You can write down my cell phone number if you want to text me. It's 903-714 0828.
0828.
And if you want to be a part of that group, I'll put you in it. And we'll start at 10 o'clock in the morning. And we'll do a prayer time and a Bible study.
What's who you diving into tomorrow?
Oh, we're finishing up the Beatitudes in Matthew chapter 5. So I'm not sure if we'll do one or the last two. It's just kind of whatever God puts on my heart tomorrow morning to do. So it's definitely a wait and see what he shows up to use me to say. So
there you go.
It's interesting.
So 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Check out Rhonda Bird Parker. You got her cell phone number. You can find her on Facebook or Instagram, Rhonda Bird Parker 1. And you'll see her showing off her
It'll
Sunday.
be inside that study. Well, it won't be on my personal page. It'll be in that Bible study Facebook group page.
If they needed
it's private.
If they needed to connect with you, to reach out to you. Yes, to get access to it. Cool. All right, y'all. I love you tons. I appreciate you much. Thank you for making the world a better place. Thanks for taking care of you. And in the words of my dear friend Leslie Hebert, go be good to you. Go take care of you. Go have some fun today. I'm sure
you're a whole beast.
A whole beast. I'll see y'all where? At the next event. Y'all say bye to each other.
Bye, y'all.
Love you. Have a good
Love
night,
y'all.
you guys.
Bye.
Have a good
Love you.
evening.